Hey Grok, can we talk about the scripture that says we are to bring every thought into the obedience of Christ? Can you quote that directly and what chapter and verse that is?
That's from 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5. In the King James Version, it says, "Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ."
Let's talk about what the obedience of Christ looks like, and then we can go back and touch on some of the other things about the thoughts. What does the word obedience in the Greek, can you translate that, and what does that mean?
The Greek word for obedience in 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5 is hupakoē, Strong's number 5218. It means attentive listening or hearkening that leads to compliance, submission, or willing obedience to authority. Here, Christ's teachings and will.
So God being relational, it means to hearken attentively, or to listen under would be another way to say it, because didn't Jesus say that his sheep will hear his voice?
Yes, exactly. Hupakoē, the verb root, means to listen under or hearken attentively, implying submission through hearing. That's spot on with Jesus saying in John 10, verse 27, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me."
So isn't it logical that in this verse that every thought that comes to us doesn't necessarily originate with us, and that we are to take that thought and to essentially imprison it and bring it to Jesus so we can listen under him?
Yes, that's a solid take. Thoughts can come from various sources, not just us, so we capture them like prisoners and submit them to Christ's voice for discernment. It aligns with hearkening to him as our shepherd to filter what's true and obedient.
And so wouldn't it be true that when we do think a thought that doesn't align with the very nature of God or him and who he is, that then Jesus would be able to give us the true thoughts on that thought and help us to walk into truth and stay away from deception?
Absolutely. When a thought clashes with God's nature, bringing it to Jesus lets him renew our minds with truth, as in Romans 12, verse 2. That guards against deception and guides us into his perfect will.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you, Grok.